Okay, so ready to dive into all those crazy emotions that kind of come with buying a home.
You know, those fears that can make even the most rational person feel a little bit crazy.
We're going on a quest today, a quest to conquer those fears. And I think I've got the perfect guide for us today.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
You know that feeling, right? That like heart in your throat moment when you're about to make like the biggest financial decision of your life?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. It's like stepping onto a roller coaster blindfolded, right? You know there are twists and turns ahead, but you're not quite sure what to expect. And that feeling of potentially overpaying, ugh, it's a fear that seems to haunt like every homebuyer's dreams.
It's understandable, especially in today's market. But here's the thing. Overpaying is often a matter of perception. The key is to detach from the emotional aspect and focus on data. That's where understanding market value through comps becomes your secret weapon.
Comps are like the Rosetta Stone of real estate, right? They help us decipher what a property is truly worth. But it's more than just comparing square footage and the number of bedrooms, isn't it? What are some of the less obvious factors that can really skew those comps?
Yeah, you're right. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Think about recent renovations, for example. A brand new kitchen can add significant value, but it might not be reflected in older comps. Or consider unique features. Maybe a property has breathtaking views or backs up to a nature preserve. Those things can command a premium, making it harder to find truly comparable properties.
So it's like being a detective, looking for those subtle clues that reveal the true value.
Mm.
But for those of us who aren't, real estate pros, how do we even get access to reliable comps? I mean, are there online resources that can help, or is it like a secret society kind of thing?
Don't worry, no secret handshakes required. There are plenty of websites that can provide a starting point. Sites like Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com let you search recently sold properties in a specific area. But remember, those sites often rely on publicly available data, which might not be as accurate or up-to-date as the information a real estate agent can access through the multiple listing service, the MLS.
Ah, the MLS, the holy grail of real estate data. Okay, so we've got our data, we've analyzed those comps, but let's be honest, that fear of overpaying can still linger. How do you help someone move past that mental hurdle and make a confident decision?
It's all about shifting your perspective. Instead of fixating on getting the absolute lowest price, think of it as a long-term investment. Look at the potential for appreciation, the value you're getting in terms of locations, features, and setting a firm budget is like drawing a line in the sand. It helps you stay grounded and avoid getting swept away by the emotional tide.
That's such a good point. Having that budget in place can be incredibly empowering. But even with a solid budget, there's another fear that can kind of sneak up on you. The fear of making the wrong choice. What if you buy a house and then realize it's just not the right fit for you?
That fear is all about anticipating the unknown future. And honestly, none of us have a crystal ball. But we can use a powerful tool to gain clarity. Visualization. Imagine yourself actually living in the space. Picture your furniture, walk through the rooms, consider how you would use each area. This helps you connect with the house on a deeper level and reveal whether it truly aligns with your needs.
I love that. It's like a mental test drive, before you actually commit. But how can someone make those visualizations more concrete? Are there specific techniques they can try?
Absolutely. You can create a vision board with images that represent your ideal home. Write a journal entry describing your life in the house, or even take virtual tours to immerse yourself in the space. And while those techniques are helpful, remember that a good real estate agent can be an invaluable guide throughout this process, helping you connect those visions to reality.
So it's like having a real estate Sherpa, right? Guiding you through the treacherous terrain of home buying, ensuring you don't stumble upon any unexpected crevasses of regret.
Exactly. A skilled agent will help you clarify your priorities, narrow down your choices, and ensure you're making a decision that feels good, not just financially, but emotionally too. They'll understand your non-negotiables, what you absolutely must have, and where you're willing to be more flexible.
Flexibility, that's a good segue to our next fear, I think. The fear of financial commitment. This one can be a real monster, hiding under the bed, ready to pounce on your dreams of home ownership.
And rightfully so. Taking on a mortgage is no small feat. Let's break this monster down into manageable pieces so it feels less daunting. You've got your mortgage payments, of course, but also closing costs, property taxes, insurance, and those often overlooked maintenance costs.
Speaking of maintenance, that's the one everyone seems to whisper about in hushed tones, like a secret society initiation. What kind of financial hit are we talking about here? Give us the real dirt.
Well, while it varies depending on the age and condition of the house, it's wise to budget around 1 to 4% of the home's value annually for maintenance. Imagine that beautiful Victorian with the wraparound porch. Charming, yes, but those charming details often come with charmingly high upkeep costs.
That's more than I was picturing. So before we even think about, throw pillows and stuff, we need to make sure we can actually afford the house itself, right? How do you know if you're truly in a good financial position to buy?
This is where understanding your debt-to-income ratio becomes crucial. Lenders use this to assess your ability to repay the loan. Getting pre-approved for a mortgage is like peeking behind the curtain. It shows you how much you can borrow and helps you set realistic expectations.
Pre-approval, it's like getting a sneak peek into your financial future. So it's about crunching the numbers, looking beyond the sticker price, and understanding what you can comfortably afford, not just today, but for the long haul, right?
Precisely. And creating a financial plan that incorporates all these factors can make a huge difference. It's about taking control, feeling secure, and knowing that you're making a sound investment.
Control. I love that. We've tackled the fear of overpaying, the fear of making the wrong choice, and even wrestled that financial commitment monster to the ground. We are on a roll. But there's one more fear lurking in the shadows, and it's a big one. The fear of the unknown. It's that feeling of stepping into a labyrinth blindfolded, unsure of what's around the next corner.
It's a perfectly valid fear, especially for first-time buyers who are unfamiliar with the intricacies of real estate transactions. But the good news is that transparency and communication are your secret weapons against this fear. It's about finding an agent who clearly explains each step, setting realistic expectations, and keeping you informed every step of the way.
Transparency and communication. They should be like engraved on every real estate agent's business card. But how does that actually play out in the real world of buying a home? Can you give us a specific example of how clear communication made a difference in a transaction?
Absolutely. I once had clients who were under contract to buy their dream home. Everything was going smoothly until the inspection revealed a major foundation issue. Could have been a deal breaker, and emotions were running high. But because I had been transparent with them from the start, they understood the situation. We were able to work together, negotiate a fair solution with the seller, and ultimately, they got their dream home without any lingering anxieties.
That's incredible. Clear communication, it's like a superpower that can turn a potential disaster into a success story. But let's flip the script for a moment. What are some red flags that might suggest an agent isn't being as transparent as they should be? What should our listeners be on the lookout for?
Great question. One red flag is an agent who avoids answering your questions directly or dismisses your concerns. Another is an agent who pressures you to make a decision before you're ready or doesn't fully explain the terms of a contract. It's your journey, and you deserve to feel confident and informed every step of the way.
So if you're getting that like icky feeling in your gut, it's time to trust your instincts and maybe seek a second opinion. You are in control of this process, and a good agent will empower you with knowledge and support, not pressure you into something you're not comfortable with.
Exactly. And remember, while fear is a natural part of the home buying process, it doesn't have to paralyze you. Knowledge, preparation, and the right support can transform that fear into confident action.
This has been so insightful. I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of the emotional roller coaster that comes with buying a home. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the fear of overpaying to the fear of the unknown. But our deep dive isn't over yet. We've got more ground to cover, so stay tuned for part 2 of our exploration into conquering those pesky homebuyer fears.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the minds of homebuyers, where we're facing those fears head on and turning anxiety into, empowered action.
Yeah, I think we navigated the murky waters of overpaying last time and even tackled that labyrinth of the unknown. But our journey isn't over yet.
That's right, because even when you think you've conquered all those upfront fears, there's another one lurking in the shadows waiting to pounce the moment you sign on that dotted line. Buyer's remorse.
It's the fear that whispers, what if I made a mistake? And it can really haunt even the most, meticulous home buyers.
It's like that feeling when you buy a new outfit and then immediately see it on sale the next day, except, magnified by about 1,000. Buyer's remorse is a really powerful emotion, often rooted in the fear of making the wrong choice, which we explored earlier. But the good news is there are ways to, minimize those chances of falling victim to this post-purchase anxiety.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give us the antidote to this dreaded real estate regret.
I think the foundation of preventing buyer's remorse is a solid due diligence period. This isn't just about skimming through documents. It's about becoming a real estate detective, uncovering any hidden issues that might cause you to, second guess your decision later on.
So we're talking more than just a quick walkthrough and like a hope that everything is as it seems. What are the essential elements of this like due diligence deep dive?
Think of it as a multi-pronged investigation. First, a professional home inspection is non-negotiable. You need an expert to assess the property's condition from the roof to the foundation and everything in between. This will uncover any potential problems that might not be, visible to the untrained eye.
So we're talking like leaky roofs, faulty wiring, cracks in the foundation, the stuff that could turn your dream home into a money pit.
Exactly. But it goes beyond the physical structure. You'll want to carefully review the seller's disclosures, looking for any red flags or inconsistencies, research the neighborhood, understand the HOA rules if applicable, and even consider checking for potential environmental hazards.
Wow, this due diligence thing is serious business. It sounds like a lot of work, but I'm starting to see how it can really, pay off in the long run.
It absolutely does. The more you know about the property, the fewer surprises you'll encounter down the road, and the more confident you'll feel about your investment. It's about minimizing those what-ifs that can fuel buyer's remorse.
Knowledge is power, as they say, so thorough due diligence, it's a must. Any other tips for keeping those post-purchase anxieties at bay?
Another powerful strategy is managing your expectations. Remember that no house is perfect. Every property will have its quirks and compromises. It's about focusing on the things that truly matter to you and accepting that there might be, a few minor imperfections.
So if I can live with a slightly quirky bathroom in exchange for a beautiful backyard and a cozy fireplace, I'm on the right track.
Exactly. And remember, you're not just buying a house, you're buying into a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Think about the community, the amenities, the overall vibe. Does it align with your vision?
It's like finding the right piece of art that complements like your personal style. But what about the fear that haunts so many busy professionals, the fear of not being home enough to justify owning a house?
It's a valid concern, especially for those with, demanding careers or a love for travel. They worry about becoming strangers in their own homes,
Yeah.
missing out on the joys of ownership, and feeling like their investment isn't being fully utilized.
So it's not just the financial commitment, it's like the commitment of time and energy that fuels this fear.
Precisely. And this fear often intertwines with, the dreaded M word, maintenance.
Oh, maintenance, the never-ending to-do list of homeownership. It can feel like a full-time job in itself.
It can be daunting, yeah, if you're not prepared. But the key is proactive planning and setting realistic expectations. Before you even start house hunting, think about how much time and energy you're willing to dedicate to upkeep.
So if I'd rather spend my weekends like exploring new restaurants than fixing leaky faucets, maybe a sleek condo with minimal upkeep is a better fit than like a sprawling Victorian with endless projects.
Exactly. Understanding your lifestyle and priorities is key. And even if you do opt for a property that requires more attention, there are ways to minimize the burden. Think about delegating tasks, hiring a landscaping service, or finding a reliable handyman who can become your trusted partner in home maintenance.
Delegation. It's not just for CEOs anymore. So it's about being honest with yourself, understanding your capacity for those, home ownership tasks, and building a support system to help you along the way.
Absolutely. Homeownership should be enjoyable, not a source of constant stress. And speaking of stress, let's talk about a fear that looms large for many, the fear of the unexpected.
Ah, the unexpected. It's the wild card of homeownership, the plot twist we never see coming.
From unforeseen repairs and sudden market shifts to life's little curveballs that can derail our best laid plans, the unexpected can make even the most seasoned homeowner feel, a little unsteady.
It's like the universe's way of reminding us that we're not always in control.
True, but that doesn't mean we can't prepare. The first line of defense against the unexpected is a financial cushion, an emergency fund, specifically designated for those, just-in-case moments.
So like having a financial safety net, a cozy blanket of security for those moments when life throws a wrench in your well-oiled homeownership machine.
Exactly. Knowing you have resources set aside for those unexpected repairs or those moments when life throws a curveball can make all the difference in how you, navigate those challenges. But financial preparedness is only part of the equation. The other essential ingredient is a flexible mindset.
Flexible like a yoga instructor on a trampoline. Tell me more about this mental agility.
It's about being adaptable to changing circumstances,
Hmm.
understanding that things won't always go according to plan, and having the ability to pivot when needed. If the inspection reveals a termite infestation or the appraisal comes in lower than expected, don't panic, just adjust your strategy.
So it's about staying calm, assessing the situation, and finding creative solutions. It sounds like a valuable skill, not just for home buying, but for like life in general.
Absolutely. Embrace the journey, knowing that there will be bumps along the way, and trust that you have the resilience to navigate them. And remember, you don't have to face those challenges alone. Building a support system of trusted advisors can make all the difference.
That brings us to our final fear for today. And it's one that resonates with a lot of first-time buyers. The fear of being like alone in the process, like being lost at sea without a compass or a life raft.
It's the fear of not knowing who to trust, where to turn for help, or how to make sense of, the complex world of real estate. And it can be incredibly overwhelming, especially when you're facing, major financial decisions and mountains of paperwork.
It's like being the new kid in school, navigating unfamiliar hallways and trying to decipher a whole new set of
That's
rules.
a great analogy, but
Yeah.
here's the antidote to that fear. Assemble your real estate dream team.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Who makes the cut for this all-star squad?
First and foremost, you need a rock star real estate agent who you connect with on a personal level and who has your best interests at heart. This isn't just about finding someone who can, open doors. It's about finding a guide, a mentor, a trusted advisor who understands your vision and can help you navigate the complexities of the process.
So it's about finding that like real estate soulmate.
Yeah.
Someone who speaks your language and can translate the legalese into plain English.
Exactly. You want an agent who is patient, communicative, and genuinely invested in your success. But your dream team doesn't stop there. Consider bringing in other experts, like a mortgage lender who can help you secure the best financing options, a real estate attorney who can review contracts and protect your legal interests, and even a home inspector who you can trust to provide an unbiased assessment of the property.
So it's like building a fortress of knowledge and support around yourself, ensuring you're protected from those, real estate sharks lurking in the depths.
Exactly. When you have a team of trusted advisors by your side, you feel, more confident and prepared to face the challenges of the home buying journey. You're not just relying on your own limited knowledge, you're tapping into the expertise of seasoned professionals who have navigated these waters many times before.
This is making me want to go out and like recruit my own real estate A team. It's so empowering to know that you don't have to go through this process alone.
You absolutely don't. There are experts and resources available to guide you every step of the way.
Hmm.
Remember, knowledge is your superpower. And building a strong support system is one of the smartest investments you can make in your home buying journey.
Knowledge, support, and a dash of courage. That's the recipe for conquering those home buyer fears. We've covered so much ground today from, buyer's remorse to the fear of going it alone. I'm feeling like inspired and ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. But our deep dive isn't over yet. We still have a few more fears to explore. So stay tuned for the final chapter of our exploration into the minds of home buyers.
We're back for the grand finale of our deep dive into the minds of homebuyers, where we're, facing those fears head on and transforming anxiety into informed action. Yeah, we've journeyed through a landscape of a lot of uncertainties, from overpaying to that fear of the unknown, even tackled that monster of buyer's remorse.
I feel like we've earned our real estate black belts at this point, seriously. But
Right.
but there's one final fear, a fear that often like lurks beneath the surface, a fear that can make even the most decisive person, hesitate. The fear of commitment itself.
Ah, yes, the fear of commitment is the ultimate hurdle for so many people. That moment when you're asked to, sign on the dotted line to declare, yes, this is my forever home,
Hmm.
it can feel like such a monumental decision, a leap of faith into the unknown.
It's like that feeling when you're about to hit the send button on a really important email. You get that split second of doubt, wondering if you've made the right choice.
Exactly. And this fear is often amplified in the world of real estate, where the stakes are so high, both financially and emotionally. It's a blend of all those fears we've already explored. The fear of making the wrong choice, the fear of financial burden, the fear of what the future holds.
So it's like a fear trifecta. It's a culmination of all those anxieties swirling together in a perfect storm of indecision,
You could say that, yeah. And it's particularly potent for those who really value their flexibility and freedom. They worry about being like tied down to one place, missing out on other opportunities or feeling trapped if their circumstances change.
Right. They might ask themselves, like, what if I get a job offer in another city? Or
Yeah,
what if my family grows and we need more space? I mean, these are valid concerns, right?
absolutely, yeah. It's important to acknowledge that these fears are very real.
Yeah.
And there's no like right or wrong answer when it comes to homeownership. It's a deeply personal decision.
Mm.
And what feels right for one person might not feel right for another.
So how do you help someone kind of navigate this fear of commitment, this sense of being like locked into a decision that could have long-term consequences?
I think it starts with reframing the concept of forever. You know, very few things in life are truly permanent, and homeownership is no exception. Instead of viewing it as a lifelong sentence, think of it as a chapter in your, life story.
So it's about shifting the mindset from like, this is the only house I'll ever own to like, this is the right house for me right now in this stage of my life. It's a subtle but important distinction.
Exactly. And it's essential to remember that real estate is an investment. Even if you decide to sell your home, down the road, you're likely to build equity and gain financial stability. It's not about being stuck. It's about making a strategic decision that aligns with your goals.
That's a great perspective. It takes some of the pressure off knowing that this isn't necessarily a forever decision, but like a step in your journey. But for those who truly prioritize flexibility, are there ways to like build that into their home buying strategy?
Absolutely. If you know that change is on the horizon, you can factor that into your choices. For example, you could consider, buying a property with rental potential, like a duplex or a house with a separate guest suite.
Oh, so if you decide to move, you have the option to like generate income from the property, easing that financial burden.
Exactly. Or you could prioritize homes in neighborhoods with a strong resale market.
Yeah.
That way, if your circumstances change, you'll have more confidence that you can sell your property quickly and without taking a financial hit.
It's about being proactive, anticipating those what if scenarios and making choices that provide options down the road.
Precisely. And remember, life is full of surprises. We can't predict every twist and turn, but we can approach those unknowns with a sense of curiosity and adaptability.
That's such a great point. It's about like embracing the journey, trusting yourself to make the best decisions along the way, and knowing that even if things don't go exactly as planned, you have the resilience to navigate those challenges.
Well said. And as we wrap up our deep dive into the minds of home buyers, I want to leave you with one final thought. Knowledge is your superpower. The more you understand your fears, the less power they have over you.
This has been an incredible journey, really. We've explored the emotional landscape of home buying, unearthed those hidden anxieties, and armed ourselves with strategies to turn fear into confident action.
Remember, home buying should be an exciting adventure, not a source of dread. By understanding and addressing those common fears, you can approach this process with clarity, confidence, and a sense of empowerment.
Yeah. To all our listeners out there, embrace the journey, ask questions, build your dream team, and don't let fear hold you back from achieving your home ownership goals.
And remember, while fear is a natural part of the process, it doesn't have to be a roadblock. By understanding your fears and developing strategies to overcome them, you can turn that anxiety into a powerful force that propels you forward.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we're signing off on our epic exploration into the world of homebuyer fears. Until next time, happy house hunting.